Hello, Pastor Steve Waldron here. We're going to look today at wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Of course, we don't want to just be brutish people, don't want to be dumb, we don't want to be just whatever, led by everything in the world. We want to have knowledge, we want to have wisdom, we want to have understanding. Above all, we want to have God's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 1, verse number 7, it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge." That's the reason in Psalm 14 and 1, it says, "The fool has said in their heart, there is no God." Because once you say there is no God, you can't have true knowledge. Of course, you can have knowledge over certain things, that this is wood and the sky is blue. So you're going to have knowledge on certain things, but as the things that matter, how to please God, how to do things that make it to eternity, they're not going to have any knowledge about that. So the first law of getting any type of true knowledge is the fear of the Lord. Back in the 16 and 1700s, most of the scientists and philosophers in the West, which built the great prosperity machine that known as Western civilization, put God first. They said they were thinking God's thoughts after Him. So they had a fear of the Lord and then began to understand things. The antithesis to that would be the Enlightenment, which put man, secular humanism, and human reasoning in its place. When we get to Proverbs chapter 9, verse number 10, it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding." To have knowledge is to know. It is to understand a fact. In these particular instances, it's to know certain spiritual facts. I'll give you an example. If you know the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, Commandments 6, 7, and 8. You know those. Wisdom, the wise domain, would take that a step further. They would apply the knowledge they have. They wouldn't steal, they wouldn't commit adultery, they wouldn't do these things that are contrary to God. And then, the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Is God just a tyrant telling us not to eat of the tree of knowledge in the midst of the garden? Is He just telling us, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not bear false witness? Or does it breed prosperities and blessings? Well, when you have understanding, the knowledge of the holy, God is holy, you understand why He says those things. If you're not stealing, you can have an orderly society. If you're not bearing false witness, you again can conduct business and transactions in an honest, godly way. George Washington, about the cherry tree and all of that. Don't commit adultery. You can have monogamous relationships full of happiness and harmony, and not the soul destruction and even the physical destruction that comes on the other side of those things. So knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowledge is to know. Wisdom is to apply. Understanding is to understand why. Know, why, know, apply, and why. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I want to encourage you. God is holy. The more holy you are, the more you'll know God. The more He will give you spiritual understanding. You'll be blessed, but He didn't bless you just to be the Dead Sea. He wants you to be a conduit of blessing to bless this world. God bless you. Keep knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in